Hey, it's Alexis or Lex. If you're new here, welcome. My content is usually very unedited, minimal editing. I'm working on building an online coaching platform alongside my 9 to 5. If you saw my last video, or if you want to go take a look at my last video, I talked about how I'm building this online coaching platform, and I'm doing that through content creation. So I've got a blog. I try to do a bunch of stuff on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and so forth. And throughout that process, I became very overwhelmed, obviously, because there's so many different platforms and they all have kind of their own different niche and audiences. From my last video, I walked away with that I don't want to be on LinkedIn right now. I think that was a big epiphany for me because when I was doing my content, it just didn't really feel authentic to what I wanted to say. I almost had to kind of button it up and make it a bit corporate and make it more applicable. Otherwise, it's hard for people to engage with it or like it, or even my my job would be like, "What are you sharing there?" And not that it's anything bad, but I wasn't able to really articulate what it is that I'm offering as part of my coaching, which is the 3 pillars of potential: clarity, consistency, and connection. And when posting on LinkedIn, it just felt very unauthentic. I was trying to force a niche that just isn't there right now, and that's okay. And so, this video, I want to give some insight into what I've been doing this morning as an aftermath of kind of pivoting my strategy to not go on LinkedIn and instead really focus on kind of the YouTube long form behind the scenes and then the social strategy with reels on Instagram and TikTok. So, this morning, I just kind of had some thoughts on branding. My branding is, I'm a coach, a personal trainer for your mind. I'm a life coach, and I have my 3 pillars of potential. I'm not a creative designer by any means. My major is stats. I'm very much like an analytical thinker, but I've been trying to just like be creative and try things out. And I'm in Canva, and Canva's amazing because it's free for a lot of very like necessity features. And so I've been getting a lot done in Canva. And I'm really excited this morning because I feel like I drilled down like a cool color scheme that would work, a social kind of strategy in the posts that I want to talk about. And so I'm just going to kind of like walk you through a little bit of like what's going on behind me in Canva. And as you can see, like very small, but I've got clarity, consistency, and connection. And I put this on 2 different things just so I could see how it would look with a light background versus a dark background. And the fun thing about colors, if you have a favorite color, Canva has a color wheel. So you can type in Canva color wheel, you can type in a color, the hex color, and it'll give you complementary colors to that. And so that's how I found these 2 other colors. I really love this blue. I wanted 2 complementary colors that would go with that. And so that's what I did. And so the uniqueness about this strategy is anything under the topic of clarity will be a certain color. So when I have my social media, when I look at my page, when I see a certain color, I'll know, okay, this is about clarity, and a different color for consistency and a different color for connection. And so it's helpful for me to know how much I'm posting about each topic and kind of where I'm lagging and what can come in. And in terms of building and creating the content itself, I wrote tons of blogs on each of these already. I have a whole content backlog of things I want to talk about. And so, really, now that I have like kind of the color scheme and some of the formatting that I want to do, all I have to do is just go into my blogs, go into my content backlog, and just create posts. So, let me give you an example of what this looks like. I have this content backlog here, and in here I have columns. It's kind of hard to see. So, you know what? I'm just going to take you along with me. All right, here's the computer. And as you can see, I've got a content backlog. I'm literally holding my camera, so I don't have the mouse. But you can see I've got the topic. I've got whether I made a blog out of it, a LinkedIn post, Twitter, etc. Obviously, I have some things to change in here, but you can see the pillar that I've got, which is very helpful. I can then click what blog post I like wrote about. So for example, I just made a thing about everything costs something. I love this opportunity cost song from G-Eazy. So I made a blog about it. Here's the blog, and here's everything in it. And so here's like how you can make better decisions. And so this is exactly what I used as the content for my new post. So how to make better decisions. And it's just a bunch of videos that I put together and then some question prompts. And that's it. To some of you who are like really big in content strategy and have been doing this for years, this may seem like a no-brainer, but for somebody like me who's just starting out, this is a big win because it just helps me leverage all the content that I've already wrote about, all the coaching that I've thought through, that I've written on a blog, and now I can just put it into a post that aligns with my three pillars of potential. And I think the next step for me is really to create a content calendar. I don't want everything to be a post with questions on it. I do want to coach and talk and have a bunch of different diverse content. But this is a start. And I just wanted to show you, for those of you that are new to content creation, how you can think about your brand and what you're offering to people and how you can categorize and create your social brand around that. So, again, like this is the first time I've done this. I haven't made any posts yet to my TikTok or to my Instagram account, but I will certainly check in and do like a scroll of how it's been looking. But I'm very excited about this. And then the last thing I really wanted to address here, it's easy to feel very doubtful about being a content creator or even that term influencer. And that's something that I've certainly struggled with in the last couple of weeks as I think about this, because my initial idea was to create a book. And I still very much want to make a book, and I will with a lot of this content. But in my mind, I was like, I don't want to be an influencer. I don't want to be one of those social media, people that are posting videos all the time. But man, there's actually something admirable about it. If yeah, there's something very admirable, and they're just storytellers. Like technology has allowed us to tell stories in different ways. So, back in the day, it was word of mouth, and then you have text, you have books, you have blogs, and now we have the ability to have cameras and record ourselves. It's just another method of storytelling. And so while I used to just be like, oh, influencers, da da da. Don't get me wrong, not every piece of content is going to be amazing, but every piece of content is a story. And I know it's cliche, I know it's funky, but if that's one reason why you are not sharing content on your platforms and you have this desire to do that, you got to get that out of your head. This is where technology is going. This is where AI is going, where there's a lot of money and there's a lot of opportunity and tons of people to meet, connections to make. You just never know what's going to happen. And so, this is really a talk to myself too, to get out of your own head when it comes to content creation and being a video creator or somebody on Instagram and TikTok. Like, it is totally okay if this is your avenue. And I just wanted to say that because I've had my doubts. And I hope this video, one, just gives you, peels back the onion a little bit into helping you kind of develop your personal brand, but also gives you the confidence that you need to create content and not have any guilt or shame as a part of it. There are going to be internet trolls everywhere you go. That's just a fact. People are people. But do you, like, you've got a unique story. You've got something unique to share. I want to see it. I know other people do. So go get them.